Thursday, November 16th. You guys are watching Unafraid, Reister or Wrong. I'm George Reister here, your man. Before we get started today, make sure that you log on to unafraidshow.com and look at the Unafraid Anonymous emails. If you have not seen these, you are wasting your life. Because not only was this the greatest Unafraid Anonymous emails of all time, this is coming on the heels of the greatest Unafraid show of all time. Hope you guys enjoy today. We got a couple good things up for you. Get Out. The movie Get Out. Is going into the Golden Globes as a comedy. People were pissed off about it. Black people, white people, all people saying, oh, well, this is not a comedy. People are frustrated with the misunderstanding of black movies. And I'm going to tell you why it's not racist, why it's not as big a deal as people are making it. Next thing up, the Lakers. The Lakers played the 76ers last night, two rebuilding NBA franchises. But there was some big things sticking out. Obviously, Lonzo Ball was trash last night. Even though I'm in the Lonzo Ball and the Ball family camp, he was garbage. Joel Embiid. Phenomenal, right? People want to trust the process. I do not trust the process. I don't trust Joel Embiid, and I definitely damn sure don't trust the process. And Tyrod Taylor was benched in Buffalo. Yeah, that was a bad idea. That's good for Nathan Pearman, 5th round pick, who hasn't started an NFL game on a team that's going to the playoffs, but you bench your quarterback. What the hell is going on? We'll get into all those things. But the anonymous emails, though, make sure that you send them in. Remember, the emails are completely anonymous. Obviously, I see who sent them. However, I will never reveal under any circumstances. No circumstance will I reveal it. And people have been very open, honest, and forthright about the stuff that's going on in their lives. And it is fantastic. My 17-year-old daughter read it. Even she liked it. Even these teenagers are loving it. You will love it as well. So I wanted to get started with Get Out, right? The movie Get Out, obviously, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. It was probably the biggest surprise hit of 2017. The movie was made for $4.5 million, and it's made over $175 million. And of course, it's going to get re-released at some point in time, right before the big award shows and all this. And people are upset. People are upset because it's going into the Golden Globes as a comedy. And I get the initial reaction from it because as black people, your movies typically don't get the credit that they deserve. They aren't always appreciated. And for a lot of people, Get Out might have been a comedy. It might have been a drama. But for black people, it was a horror film. It was because it highlighted some of the things that you're terrified about in life. So for some people, it was a comedy. But here's where it gets tricky, right? Is because for the Golden Globes, it was submitted as a comedy. Universal Pictures submitted it as a comedy. But there is a reason and a motivation behind that, right? The motivation and reason behind that is literally to build up momentum for the Oscars. They're trying to get this movie an award. And this is not the first time that this has happened. Last year, The Martian was obviously a really good movie, right? Everybody enjoyed The Martian. If you saw it, it was good. About the guy who gets stuck in Mars and then they got to bring him back home. Okay, but it was submitted as a comedy last year as well. And wasn't nothing damn comedy about that. It was jokes. And when Ridley Scott, the director, got up to accept his statue, he was shrugged okay, well, I guess it's a comedy. Whatever, right? Anything that you can to get your movie the credit that it deserves. So while I get the skepticism in it initially being voted a comedy because of historical, because black people's movies have not been given the credit that they deserve in the past. Give you a prime example. Boomerang. Boomerang is must-see TV for black people. It is. If you haven't seen Boomerang with Eddie Murphy, you are missing out. But on Rotten Tomatoes, it got a 40. A 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. You damn kidding me? Coming to America only got a 69%. But you think that we're going to accept what you're saying about Get Out? Yeah, of course people are upset about it. That's just the truth. Training Day only got a 72. Harlem Nights, a 27. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? When you look at Get Out, right? It's a thriller. It is a horror film at its best, because there are some times when, for a lot of black people, it felt like real life. Because there are some times when you see people and you're like, I wonder what the hell is going on with that dude. Like, for instance, Ben Carson. Ben Carson is in the sunken place. I will tell you that. If you don't believe this, let me give you evidence of this. When I was a kid, one of the first books that I remember reading when I was like 6 or 7 years old was Think Big by Ben Carson. Oh my God, it was one of the most influential books in my life. Like, I thought I wanted to be a doctor. I knew I was smart. I was like, this dude is the man. Like, he was bigger than Bill Cosby was to me. And then you see him in the election last year and you're like, what the hell happened to this dude? He got in the sunken place, man. Got in the sunken place. So Get Out is not only like a scary movie. Jordan Peele called it a documentary. It is. For a lot of people, it highlights their biggest fears in life. That's what Get Out does to black people. And it's not racist. It's not racist that it was submitted as a comedy. It was a genius move by Universal Pictures. A genius move to get the movie highlighted. It can win in the comedy category, because it's going to be better than all the rest of the movies. And then build momentum for the Oscars, the way they can take home another trophy. Last year, it was the controversy with La La Land. Did they win? Did they not win? Ended up having a black movie winning. Moonlight. Guess what'll happen this year? Hopefully Get Out takes the trophy. And I know some people are going to be upset. Oh, shouldn't you just want the best movie and not just a black movie? Yeah, I should. And I do want the best movie. I just think that Get Out was one of the best movies. Everything's subjective. If you're one of the 5 or 6 best movies of the year, anybody can win at that point in time. And it's like reparations. I want black people to do well. That way we get more movies made. It's just the truth, because we don't get enough movies made because they don't think our movies travel. So what do you have to do? You have to get a little better. Have to take the opportunities that you get. Next thing up, though, yesterday, the Lakers played the 76ers. If you guys are Lakers fans, I know that you were a little bit encouraged and discouraged at the same time by the game results, because Lonzo Ball he only played 21 minutes. So while he's supposed to be the answer, supposed to be the future, he's not playing like it right now. Like, there's nothing about his play that looks like the future on a consistent basis. Yesterday, he only played 21 minutes and shot 0 for 6 from the three-point line, 1 for 9. This dude is awful shooting the ball. He's got the yips. He's got the basketball version of the yips. If you don't know what the yips are, that's when all of a sudden, when you go from being able to do something well, and it's a mental thing, and all of a sudden you can't do it. It's like I forget who the pitcher's name was in the MLB. One time he threw a wild pitch. He was a top line MLB baseball pitcher. He threw one wild pitch and he couldn't throw strikes anymore. It's like Charles Barkley's golf swing. Like, that's the yips. It is all mental. It is nothing physical involved with the yips. Something's going on between the ears of Lonzo Ball. It's got nothing to do with his daddy, nothing to do with any of that. And the crazy part is that the NBA players, you guys don't realize this, though. The other NBA players are messing with Lonzo Ball right now. They have him in a mental pickle. They got him gone. And how they did it is, as a former basketball player myself, here's what happens. When you start shooting poorly, people start talking to you. And then you're a rookie on top of that, trying to learn the game, understand all that. They start talking to you. Oh, man. Ooh, that was an awful shot. You suck. You this, you that. And mind you, you're a competitor. So it brings more like desire to do better in your mind. You're like, I got to go out here and kill these dudes. I got to go out here and kill them. And then what happens? Nothing. because now you're too focused on killing these other dudes, and then they do the biggest mental judo trick of all time. They mess with you the biggest way they can. They start sagging off of you. They stop closing out on you. They just let you stand out there and shoot. Granted, it should be an easy shot because you're wide ass open. Nope, because your mind is in the way. Your mind has put a lid on the basket. Then, so people suggested, well, Lonzo Ball's having trouble with his confidence, obviously. So let's send him down to the G League. Oh, yeah, let's see how that works out. Oh, no way. Let's see how that works out for Lonzo Ball. Sending him down to the G League? That's the developmental league, which used to be the D League, but now it's the Gatorade League. There's no way that he could go dominate the G League. It would be even more mentally taxing and more depressing for him to be sent down. And truth be told, a guy who's averaging 9, 7, and 6 should be in the league. 9.7 rebounds, 6 assists. He should be in the league. Don't know if he should be starting, but he's on the Lakers. They don't have anybody else to start. But the good part about this thing for the Lakers was Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma and Brandon Ingram both played really well. And when you look at these two dudes, you're like, we might actually have something here. And you think, all right, this bodes well for the future about LeBron James coming in the offseason. This is not out of the question or unbelievable. Not unbelievable at all. And if you're Lonzo Ball, you have all type of people showing up to the game. Kevin Hart was at the game last night celebrating everything the Sixers did. And heckling Lonzo Ball. Heckling him. Everybody's out there heckling him. I don't blame him. This is part of the deal. This is part of the deal when you're a professional athlete. He's got to get better. And initially I thought that some of the trouble with his brother was like weighing on his mind. I thought it was being a distraction to him when his brother was in jail in China, figuring out whether he was going to come home or not. But then as soon as his brother kind of got out of trouble, he had a huge game, like 29 points, all that. And a triple-double and all that. But then he followed that up terribly. I mean, it was just awful last night. But the dude on the other side of the court, though, was phenomenal. Joel Embiid. And I'm going to tell you this. As fantastic as Joel Embiid was yesterday, as fantastic as he was, 46 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, 7 blocks, 14 for 20 shooting. Oh, man, that's a phenomenal day. That's a phenomenal day. I do not trust the process. I don't trust the process at all. I don't trust it. And no, I don't believe that LeVar Ball wrote a check that his dad can't cash. That his ass can't cash. No way. No way. I think that Lonzo Ball is going to be all right. I don't think he's going to be a transcendent talent necessarily, but the kid's still very talented. He's got to figure out what's going on with these yips. But Joel Embiid, I do not trust the process. I do not. Realistically think about this. You want me to trust the process, you got to build trust. Like, he's building trust every single game that he plays. But Joel Embiid is not building trust at the rate that he thinks he should be building trust. Because, truth be told, the dude has played 12 games this year. 12. And some of those limited minutes. Last year, he only played 31 games. So you want me to trust the process and believe and be all in this when in 3 years you've played a grand total of 43 games? No, not happening. Not happening at all. Oh, and I do want to wish my daughter, hey, do great in your tennis tournament today. She's in sectionals today. Have a great day. I do not trust the process. I do not trust him. He looks like Greg Oden or Sam Bowie waiting to happen. One of the best players that never was. Because when you look at his skill set, Joel Embiid shooting three-pointers. He is driving to the basket, grabbing mad rebounds, blocking shots. He looks like everything. He looks like everything that you want in a basketball player. However, He's not shown the most important ability in sports. He's not shown it. That is availability. He is not always available. I get it. I mean, in what? This is fourth season, technically, third season. I mean, however you count it. He's only played a grand total of 43 games, but you want me to trust the process. You know what I do trust about Joel Embiid? I trust Joel Embiid, the character. I like him. He's good on social media. He is good everywhere else. No, Greg Oden did not suck. He was hurt. I trust Joel Embiid on social media. I trust him to be a character. And I like that because I've been very critical of the NFL about the fact that they've taken all the fun out of the league. They want everybody to be straight-laced. There are no real compelling stories right now. You used to have like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. I mean, nobody says anything to get anybody riled up. No, we don't want to put up locker room material. What? What? Not locker room material. These are grown-ass men. Like, aren't they supposed to be motivated enough all by themselves? That in no way makes sense to me. We're not going to put out locker room material. Locker room material? Huh. That's phenomenal to me. Joel Embiid. It's phenomenal to me that people are afraid of that. And that's why one of the problems with the NFL right now is there aren't enough compelling stories. And that's what I love about Joel Embiid. You have to pay attention to Joel Embiid even when he's not playing basketball. Because after the game last night, you got to go look at his Instagram feed. What did he do? He turned around and he posted a picture of him finger rolling Lonzo Ball like that. Trolling. I like that sort of deal. I'm in on trolling. I'm in on messing with people, especially when you can back it up. And I like players that do that. So while I don't trust the process and I do not believe in Joel Embiid yet, I believe in his talent. I believe in his skill level. I believe in his potential. But I don't believe or trust the process yet because the process has not built up enough trust with me. Not in 43 games in 3 or 4 years. No way you can do that. You have to have the most important ability in sports, which is availability. He's not always available. He's on a minutes restriction. They're resting him for too much load. I mean, whatever. I mean, like these newfound analytics. I mean, like, come on. But I do have to check for him every day. And now, what was he averaging? 23 points, 11 rebounds, 3.5 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks a game. This is really good. This is really good. And that's going to get him on the All-Star team. And that's going to get him a date with Rihanna. Maybe, right? So, because I was thinking about this. I was like, Joel Embiid came for Rihanna a couple years ago on social media. And she said, holla at me when you make an All-Star team. And now the dude's out there balling. And that got me to thinking about what Jordan Clarkson said. Jordan Clarkson, in a recent article, who is a Lakers guard, he said his motivation for doing well, in this order, he said, my parents, my family, take care of everybody and all that. And the girls. Like, I'm doing it for the girls. Because they don't really like you when you're down. And I'm sitting there thinking, this dude has lost his damn mind. Like, there's a difference in liking groupies, right? Because a lot of young professional athletes like groupies. I mean, it's part of the lifestyle. You should be making better sexual choices and better choices and all that. I 100% agree with that. But the fact that you're basing your goals and what you want, why you want to play well on some hoes, that is insanity to me. I mean, I get that I probably thought the same. Well, no, I didn't. I didn't think that same way. I was more concerned about the money. I wanted the status. I wanted to be great. And I mean, like, you have to know that these are the wrong type of women that you are like courting, and something bad is going to happen. You are a TMZ article waiting to happen. You are a like screenshotted picture while you're sleeping away from being on the front page. How, like, why would, and even if you were publicly, if you're Jordan Clarkson and you are a dude who is playing well for the groupies, why on earth would you publicly say that? Like, why on earth? I mean, like, where's the tact? Where's like the intelligence in that? Because now you've made yourself even more of a target. You're supposed to keep that joker low key, man. Nobody wants to endorse the guy and get a guy a bunch of money who says stuff like that. That's just the truth. Last thing up for today is Bills coach Sean McDermott. He benched Tyrod Taylor to start Nathan Pearman. And I just think that is absolutely disgusting. How on earth are you going to bench Tyrod Taylor, who this year, mind you, yes, he had a rough go at it last week against the New Orleans Saints, but the week before against the Jets, threw for 285, 2 touchdowns, and rushed for another touchdown. Quarterback rating 108. The previous game, quarterback rating 101. Before that, 96. Dude is out here playing well, but you bench him for a rookie 5th rounder. I hope the Bills lose. I hope the Bills lose. I'm to the point of where I hope the Bills lose, like I hope the Buccaneers lose for firing Lovie Smith when he was 10-6 to hire Dirk Cutter. If Dirk hears this, he's probably going to be upset about this because he was my offensive coordinator at one point in time in Jacksonville. However, I don't mind the fact that Dirk has a head coaching job. I have a problem that Lovie Smith was fired. It has nothing to do with Dirk in that way. I have a problem that Lovie Smith was fired, not that Dirk was hired. Sorry, he's just a casualty of the I hate club. It's not anything of his fault. He didn't do it, but you know, sometimes stuff trickles downhill to places that you didn't expect it to go. And McDermott benching Tyrod Taylor, though, to me, it felt eerily similar to a time, which is still currently now on some level, where black quarterbacks didn't get the same love, the same respect, and the same leash as white quarterbacks. When you look at a guy like Blake Bortles playing awful. Like, he's not a good quarterback, but he's going to get 2-3 more chances after this last year in Jacksonville. They're going to give him a bunch more chances. Brian Hoyer, chances all over the place. Hasn't really played great except for like 1/2 a season. Blaine Gabbert, he's starting again this weekend. And he's proven himself awful in the league. Eli Manning hasn't been good in forever. You can't remember the last time that he actually put together like a bunch of like 2 good seasons. You can't. But you want to run guys off. Byron Leftwich, David Garrard, people trying to run Cam Newton off. Like, why isn't the leash the same? And I know people, and I've said the same thing about black coaches as well. They don't get rehired at the same rate. This isn't my thought. Statistics say this. But then you have the Schottenheimers and the and oh boy used to coach the Rams, 8-8 Jeff Fisher, 7-9 Jeff Fisher, recycled all the time. Oh, but George, what about Marvin Lewis in Cincinnati? I can't explain that. Marvin Lewis should have been fired a long time ago. Long time ago. I mean, like, you can't miss the playoffs that many times and then not win a playoff game when you actually get there. I think he's like 0-7 in the playoffs or something. I mean, you have to win some of them. So I like Marvin Lewis. I think he's a fabulous coach. However, this is a game about winning. You got to win games. The Cincinnati Bengals are just too cheap to pay for a real coach. I mean, for a higher profile coach anyway. You guys, make sure that you look at the Unafraid Show anonymous emails. They are great. They are fantastic. They are the best thing that you will read on the internet this week. I promise you that. They will entertain you. 4 great stories about from people in their real life. Like, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example of one. And I give this wonderful advice. Says, my wife and I have been married for 18 years. I believe we've done a good job of teaching our kids the importance of character, faith, and doing the right thing. We have raised our kids with open communication, and we pride ourselves on being our kids' friend. Our oldest daughter is 17 and is a junior in high school. She recently changed the passcode to her phone, made her Instagram and Snapchat private, and won't let anyone near it. I am concerned, but I do not want to violate her privacy. I want to check her phone, social media, and put a location tracker on her phone. What do I do if she hates me for it? What do I do? So I showed this to my 17-year-old daughter. The first thing that she said is, sorry to tell you, your daughter's having sex. And I was like, damn, like, that's craziness, right? Like, if my 17-year-old realized what this 17-year-old is doing, I feel like my advice was great. Told them. Said, first of all, they're too concerned with being their kid's friend than they are their parent. I talk about many more things. Make sure you go to unafraidshow.com. And if you please send in your anonymous emails too, I will never reveal the names, unafraidshow@gmail.com. Thank you guys for joining me today. I'm George Reister, your man out here. Please make sure you like the feed, share the feed. Most importantly, more than anything else that you do, share the feed. All right. Peace out. I will catch you guys tomorrow.